Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be drawing some of my chickens as mythical creatures. I'm doing this because I love to draw, and I also want to talk about some of my individual chickens. Enjoy! First up is Angel. Angel is one of our only chickens with white feathers. She is pretty sweet, but is also shy and likes to keep to herself, although she's very nice to us and to the other chickens. Angel would be a Caladrius, which, according to Roman mythology, is a snow-white bird, and is able to take a person's sickness into itself and then flies away, dispersing the sickness and healing itself and the sick person. It is often depicted as a bird with pure white feathers. And of course, this would make sense for Angel, since she is very sweet and is also elusive and shy. But although she doesn't have pure white feathers, she is one of our only chickens with white feathers, and so I decided to make a couple modifications to the Caladrius design to make them resemble Angel better. Next up is Brewster. He is a barred rock and was one of our first roosters. However, he was one of the worst roosters we have ever had. And because of that and a couple of experiences that my friends have had, I would never recommend a barred rock rooster to anyone. He was awful, extremely violent and territorial, and if we even stepped outside, he would try to flog us with his spurs and managed to succeed on several occasions, to the which we had to take to defending ourselves with sticks and trying to push him away. Brewster was not a good rooster and pretty scary and terrifying, especially to my younger brother, who now has a scar from him. And as such, he would be a Western dragon. These dragons in mythology have traditionally been a symbol of evil, greediness, and also a symbol of war. This would be perfect for Brewster, as he pretty much waged war on the humans. He was like a little chicken tyrant, and thus I drew him as a Western dragon, with a little bit more roostery characteristics to him nonetheless. But yeah, definitely the perfect mythical animal representation of Brewster. Next up is Pecky. Pecky was absolutely amazing. She was part of our first flock, and she was an absolute joy to be around. Pecky was huge. She was even bigger than the roosters and very heavy, and she, unlike most of our chickens, absolutely loved to eat bugs, grubs, and all sorts of slimy and crunchy and gross things that were found in nature, but the other chickens didn't really want to have a part of. And she was also huge and fluffy. As such, she would be a werewolf, as they are also big and fluffy, but she would be a Hakuna Matata werewolf, as she would never hurt anyone, such a sweetheart, and her favorite thing to eat were tomato hornworms, which were found on our tomato plants. Tomato hornworms would eat the tomatoes and were just not good to have around, but she absolutely loved to gobble them up, slurp them up, and just eat them. And tomato hornworms are pretty interesting looking. They have these spike-looking things at the end to serve as a warning to things trying to eat them. But the spikes are actually very bendy and harmless. And so, Pecky would be a werewolf, a Hakuna Matata werewolf that ate tomato hornworms. Next is Hey Hey. Hey Hey is definitely a family favorite of ours. She was also part of our first flock along with Pecky and Brewster, and she was just amazing. She was an absolutely unique chicken, super special, and we love her so much. Hey Hey was a Rhode Island Red, and most of the time Rhode Island Reds don't go broody, but Hey Hey was the exception. And unlike most other broody hens who get very mean and cranky and try to peck your fingers off if you dare come close to them or their chicks, or their eggs for that matter, she was just amazing. She would let us close to them, and she actually encouraged her chicks to come to us, but she would fight the other chickens and keep them away from her babies. She knew that we weren't going to hurt them, and she actually encouraged them to have contact with humans. And as such, Hey Hey would be a griffin, as griffins in mythology are well known for being protectors and guardians. albeit most of the time guarding the gold of kings or the forest where they live. But Hei Hei would be a guardian and a protector of her chicks. She's absolutely amazing at that. Most of our hens usually don't raise more than one batch of chicks, but Hei Hei raised 2 batches, and she hatched twice as many her second time as her first time, and did just an absolutely amazing job raising them. Definitely the Mama Award, the Chicken Mama Award. So Hei Hei would be a protective griffin mama. Last but certainly not least is Tufty. Tufty is an Easter egger, and she was my baby, my favorite chicken. And Tufty had a very human personality. She was extremely sassy and demanding. And so she would always run up to me when I was trying to do other things. And then if I actually wanted to go and hold her, she'd give me a side eye, just like an evil eye, and then run away and be like, come get me. She was just so much fun and absolutely sassy. Just a very unique chicken that was full of personality. And Tufty would be a kitsune. Kitsunes are from Japanese mythology, and they are foxes that have multiple tails, and their tails, and they get more tails as they get older, and their powers also increase. And they're also said to be able to shapeshift into humans, which I thought was very fitting for Tufty, since she already kind of seemed like a little human in chicken form. And I gave her 3 tails to kind of just signify the 3 different domains of her personality. A very sweet personality, very, comforting. Like if someone was sad, she'd kind of go up to them and snuggle them. A sassy personality, which was a very dominant personality. She was very sassy. And then an overall chicken personality when she was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. I want to go scratch in the ground and eat bugs. And yeah, so Tufty would be a kitsune, a little sassy chicken kitsune that had lots of human attributes and characteristics, in my opinion. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day. John 1, 4 and 5. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.